And then we can know the totality of the truth of love that we are. The power of the unconditional love of the soul self, inner child liberated self, pure consciousness self, true essence of who this being was always meant to be self, is more powerful than anything else could ever be. And so when anything that looks or feels like less than love comes up, we can look at it and laugh it in the face. And praise gratitude for the miracle of life to the point where we are laughing and crying and sobbing in ecstasy, joy, and gratitude. Always remember that love is the greatest truth. Love is the truth of your identity and my identity. And this love is greater than anything that has ever been known in the illusion of a physical human world. That's the thing about subconscious parts. They are made of love. Love is the truth of who parts of consciousness are at the very core of their being. But how do they demonstrate that love? How do they experience that love? How do they project that love? When there is unconditional love, there is a liberating experience of freedom, joy, peace, expansion, worthiness, ecstasy, compassion, gratitude, bliss, ease, relaxation, well-being. But when that love is restricted in any capacity, then it can show up in different ways. For example, trying to overplan or being worried about something is a way that subconscious parts experience automated projections of a distortion of love. For example, let's say that a part of consciousness is worried about XYZ. Those could be protectors of love trying to protect the self by figuring this thing out or bringing this thing into the attention of consciousness. Or it could be givers of love trying to create collaboration and community inside the consciousness or support and feel close with the consciousness. But because there is a restriction of the truth of that love, it can show up as worry instead of peace, for example. And so parts of consciousness are love at the core of their being. But how they experience that love depends on the unity and liberated expansion of consciousness and on the well-being of neural wiring in the unconscious body-mind, especially in relation with attachment well-being, or the fulfillment of specific needs throughout 4 distinct attachment systems. And so there are 4 specific types of subconscious parts referencing my Liberated Consciousness Treasure Map. I've been calling it a treasure map instead of a diagram. Treasure Map. The Liberated Consciousness Treasure Map. And those different parts of consciousness will experience love in different ways based on the unity and expansion of themselves as consciousness, as aspects of consciousness, and also dependent on the well-being of the neural wiring that they're connected to throughout the unconscious body-mind or throughout subconscious realms. And so, for example, when protectors of love are fully liberated, they will do whatever it takes to protect the love, not protect illusions of lacking love. Okay, that's the key. Protectors of love, when they are fully liberated, as one example, these champions of love, they will do whatever it takes to protect the true unconditional love of the beingness, including helping the present moment self be fully connected with childhood self aspects. Protectors of love will protect the unconditional love of the self within. But when protectors of love are restricted in any capacity, then the love will be protecting the self from illusions of lacking love. And that shift is really powerful. And when there is a shift, so that protectors of love, for example, there's other groups of subconscious parts expressed through Liberated Consciousness Treasure Map. But protectors of love, for example, when they are liberated, there's an expansion of energy. And any energy spent protecting the self from illusions of conditional love is then turned inward and rises up to empower the embodiment of unconditional love from within. And then there's also embodiers of love, givers of love, and observers of love. And these four groups of subconscious parts each hold trillions of self aspects, which is just an expression of the infinite nature of the divinity of who we are as consciousness embodied. And so parts of consciousness are the essence of love, that is the truth of their identity. That is the truth of their identity. But how they experience that love is different and can show up in different ways. And then there can be clues about how to identify parts of consciousness who are in the illusions of conditional love rather than in the truth of unconditional love. And then these clues can be used to liberate those aspects of self by shifting the directing of internal energy through attention and intention, rewire the unconscious body mind, and then unite and liberate and expand those aspects of consciousness who are trapped in that disintegrated neural data. And this can be a very simple process when you know what you're doing and how to go about it. And it can also be, expansive and a never-ending journey. It can also be this never-ending journey that always holds more layers. So parts of consciousness are love at the truth of their being. And once we tap into that truth of their essence, we can know who they are and how to connect with them and how to be there for them. But until that happens, there will be a mistaken identity. And we associate these aspects of the self with the illusion of conditional love that they're caught in a subconscious projection of. But once we can pinpoint all this stuff, new doors open where there were only walls. I love you. My name is Kristin Windsor or something like that. And I love this stuff. I love exploring this stuff. Spent over 20,000 hours in the past few years just going over this stuff and exploring it in new ways, creating treasure maps and expressions through my Implicit Revelations case study, and using these concepts to be of service to the ascension and expansion of divine consciousness throughout humanity. If you feel connected to my work or my energy or anything in any way, please feel free to explore my other offerings through Kristin's Consciousness Consultancy. The concepts I'm talking about here are applied through a variety of my services and programs and other creations. So please feel free to explore all the different offerings, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And always remember that you are love. I am love. You are love. We are love. And anything that doesn't look or feel like love is a reduced reflection of the totality of the truth. And even when it arises, we can choose not to identify with it. Even when we're faced with it, and it feels like that's all that's there, we have a choice about how to respond, how to look at that, and how to maneuver around it, or through it, or above it, or over it, or under it, or to a totally different path altogether. And so even when these illusions of less than love arise, we have a choice to look at that and love it until it dissolves. We have a choice to look at it and love it until it is so disintegrated through the power of our love that it doesn't exist anymore. We have the power to look at the illusions of less than love with the power of our love and dissolve it until it's a speck of dust fluttering in the wind. And then we can know the totality of the truth of love that we are. And when we know the totality of the truth of the love that we are, our power is infinite. And our power is unconditional. Our power transcends anything else. Any region of brain-body wiring, any aspect of this supposed physicality that we seem to be experiencing. The power of the unconditional love of the soul self, inner child liberated self, pure consciousness self, true essence of who this being was always meant to be self, is more powerful than anything else could ever be. And so when anything that looks or feels like less than love comes up, we can look at it and laugh it in the face. And praise gratitude for the miracle of life to the point where we are laughing and crying and sobbing in ecstasy, joy, and gratitude. And when we're in that energy, it doesn't matter what we're faced with because the power we have inside of us transcends all of it. And eventually, the illusions dissolve, and we get to know the totality of love that we always have been and have always been worthy of experiencing. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for exploring these magics. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. And again, if any of these things that are coming from my beingness connect with you in any way, please definitely explore all the different offerings that I have. It would just truly be an honor to be of service as a healing journey guide. It's what I'm here to do. It's what I'm here for. I came to visit this beautiful planet to do this, you know. I'm here for this. I'm here for this. So, honored to connect with you. Always remember that love is the greatest truth. Love is the truth of your identity and my identity. And this love is greater than anything that has ever been known in the illusion of a physical human world. I love you.